You're listening to the One-on-One Football Podcast, the number one podcast for Aussie Rules training, coaching and development tips.
Welcome to the One-on-One Football Podcast. Andrew Rains here, CEO and founder of One-on-One Football. And as always, here in the virtual studio, I'm joined by my co-host, Harry Symington. How are you, mate?
Thanks, Rainsy. Yeah, going good, mate. I'm fresh off a plane, as you know. Spent a few days with you up in Queensland and, did a bit of filming of content, which leads really well into today's the topic of today's episode. We've got some very exciting news for the listeners, Rainsy.
We do, mate. We do. And how was your? Before we get into it, how was your? Did you enjoy a trip up here, mate? Obviously, a bit of work, a bit of pleasure. How was it?
Yeah, it was great. It was a mix of work and my pleasure is golf. So plenty of golf. It was good to get back up Tambury Mountain. There's a beautiful golf course up there. So we had a few rounds, and then obviously we were filming some content, some Aussie Rules content. So that kept us nice and busy, which we'll go into a little bit more detail of that soon. But also got to. And we got with the boots are back on, mate. Yeah. Got you involved in a few drills. Well, we needed some numbers, so I jumped in a couple, and I'll tell you what, mate, I haven't done a footy session like that in a long time. So the legs blew up a little bit, but it was good fun actually. It was good to get the footies back in the hand, and another thing as well, obviously got to catch up with you and meet your son Xander. Haven't met him, and obviously catch up with you since you've been a dad. So that was good. We always good to get back up to the sunshine state. Yeah, and I think you brought a bit of the rain with you, mate. It's been ever since you're up, and then since you left, it's been raining. But it's that time of year up here. No, it was great to catch up. Obviously, these days it's been really hard. Obviously, recently it's been really hard too. So great to get you up here and do a bit of work and obviously again see your family. But mate, today is the official launch of our Footy IQ subscription. Really excited to launch this a membership based or subscription based service that we're launching, and we're gonna share a bit more about that today. So really, really exciting, mate. Yeah, absolutely. It's if the listeners have been keeping an eye on the social media platforms, they would have noticed that we've been doing a bit of a launch up to this, and I think we mentioned it a couple of weeks on the podcast, but it's been something that we've been spending a lot of time developing, and the day's finally here. We're finally releasing it to. Releasing the membership to our clients. So, mate, did you want to just start off by giving the listeners a bit of an overview on what is Footy IQ? What is the subscription that we've developed? Well, Footy IQ is all around as obviously the wording around the theme of and the name of our membership, all around getting a bit more intel into the game. So obviously you can do all the stuff on field and all your training and things like that, but there's obviously a lot away from football that you can learn, and that's the whole idea around this online educational platform. It's like an online footy classroom or a Netflix version of football, I like to call it. So we're just going to be loading and dumping content on there as we go, but we've got a fair bit to start with, and then subscribers will get content every month or two. We'll be adding content to the library. So we've got drills, we've got online presentations, we've got extra podcast episodes, so bonus memberships, bonus episodes through the membership. You've got to listen to a bit more of our favourite guests and things alike, and there's a lot more to sort of I suppose go through, but it's a really exciting platform. Yeah, for sure. And some of those features you mentioned, we'll go into a little bit more detail later in this episode. But mate, so you mentioned there it's a Netflix for footy heads. So obviously the people that want more footy education, Footy IQ, it's gonna help upskill them. But what type of person is this membership good for? Is it just footballers? Is it coaches as well? What's the demographic? Who can benefit from the Footy IQ membership? We've designed it for both, mate. Yeah, we've designed it for both. Obviously, footballers can jump on and learn different drills, exercises they might want to improve in athletic development, which you've got a range of videos on the platform, and then also just to get their Footy IQ up to scratch, I suppose. They can hours and hours of content there just to learn and educate themselves around the game. And then for our coaches,
it's always probably the number one thing. I reckon coaches, like sort of local community coaches, always ask me for drills and, where can I find more drills? How can I get better at my coaching and things like that? So we've got a lot of drills there to share for coaches to be able to implement into their training program and manipulate them in any way they want. So it gives them a bit of I suppose, a template or a bit more of some ideas that they can get from some of our drills to be able to put into their training. And then again, for coaches trying to upskill themselves about this might be game plan or stoppages or how they work through team defense or things like that. So coaches can really get a better understanding of the game.
Absolutely, and with your experience of playing AFL and then now moving into the coaching space as well, I guess you've sort of seen the resources that are available to professional teams, but then also local clubs, like you mentioned, they're asking you for drills, they're asking for inspiration. What are some of those gaps, or what are some resources that you think maybe local coaches don't have access to that we're providing in this subscription?
Well, probably more access to, as you said before, the drills and just the content and the insights into professional coaches. So the idea around this is there's a lot of content around from what I've learned over the years in terms of coaching and playing, but also to our other coaches on board of being able to sort of educate educate our members to be able to sort of get better in certain aspects of their coaching. So a lot of resources on there to sort of help upskill that, and then just being able to sort of have access 24 hours. It's a busy world we live in these days, and it might be a local coach or is working full time and then got a family and they get that sort of hour probably at night where they probably flicking through their phone, and that might be a good way to sort of just upskill themselves in certain things and jump on the membership and just scroll through it and watch hours and hours of content of drills and insights and things like that. So I think it's perfect for that, being able to have 24 hours, 7 days a week access to online education about football.
Yeah, absolutely, and for footballers as well. I know on the podcast a lot we talk about doing extras, and you want to immerse yourself in footy, and obviously do extras and away from the club or away from your one-on-one sessions. But we also don't want to overload players' bodies, so the workload is a factor there, and obviously there's other ways that you can learn football there's other ways you can get better at football without actually doing a training session. So like you mentioned, the Insights Library is a great way for players and coaches to continue to upskill, but without adding load to their body. So we've mentioned a few of those features there, Rainsy. Let's go through a couple of them now. So you mentioned the drills library. How's that structured, and how might someone use that?
So the drills library will sort of obviously click on the library, and it'll load different tabs. It could be handballing drills, clean hands, tackling, kicking, marking, and they're all in subcategories in that way. And there are multiple drills that are highlighted through those tabs. So if you're looking for it might be a marking drill, a craft marking drill, you might click on it and go, geez, I really need to add an extra marking drill. It might be a team drill, so a bit more sort of squad training. So it might have 8+, 10+ players or a full team, and that's the ability to be able to jump on and go, okay, well, I need a drill for that. So that's got that covered in the drills library. So anything from footballers down at the park being able to sort of to do a one-on-one drill or a drill on their own, to coaches that are coaching full squad, being able to access the drills through the drills library.
Yeah, absolutely, and in that library as well. So obviously the content the format of the content is video form, and we've got a videographer to follow yourself around some training drills, and it's more than just, I guess, the actual drill. We actually get to see how you coach it and some of the cues that you use with your athletes. So for one drill, it might be a 5-minute long video, which is not only a good way to I guess session plan for coaches, but then also provide a bit of inspiration for them with their coaching as well, to sort of see how an experienced coach goes about it. And then the other one we mentioned, mate, the Insights Library. We've got some old presentations, some new presentations. What's that one all about? Yeah,
we've got a couple of Footy IQ seminar we ran last year, and some coaches presenting on that. So we've recorded that and just dumped that on their library, Insights Library. Also too, just being able to talk through certain aspects of the game. So it might be a voiceover and a presentation in that. There's different coaching cues, so there might be an insights around sort of centre bounces and how you set up and things like that. So trying to educate our subscribers to be able to just get that extra insights. It might be kicking around your body or snapping or just different little things in the game. There's so many different insights to the game, as you know, different skill breakdowns, different scenarios, and it's just delving right into that into a specific topic of the game or an insight of the game and breaking that down. So that's the insights library, which is again hours and hours of content we can just sort of scroll through and pick what you're interested in.
Yeah, and that's a really broad range of topics that we've included there as well. So it doesn't matter what position you play or what age group you coach. There's plenty of different topics, right from like you said, specific drills and technique and tactics, right up to player development and team structure. So there's a lot of vision that you can consume there, and like you mentioned, there's plenty of hours of it. So should be a good way to spend your time. And then on field, mate, we've had our online training programs going for a while on the platform. Now we've decided to include them every single program that we have in the Footy IQ membership. What are some of those programs, and how do they access them?
Yeah, so we've got our skills program, our strength program, and our running program. So some filming there we did last year or the year before, just pretty much break down to 3-week or 6-week programs that a footballer might want to do in the off season, do before the season, maybe over a bye weekend, some stuff there, or sort of maybe during the week they might be able to pick up an extra session and do some training program. So the idea around that is trying to get that bit extra into players, and especially through COVID when we're dealing with that, it was a great way for footballers to be able to focus on their training programs. Also in that we've got our mindfulness movement, which is a mix of I like to call it probably a mix of yoga, flexibility, and meditation. So that amazing program it's got me doing all the exercises with a voiceover from a specialist that we've got in that sort of realm. And so that's another way where footballers can be at home and instead of just sitting on the couch, maybe doing a mindfulness movement exercise or when they wake up in the morning. So just those little daily habits are amazing. I think footballers have got access to those sort of programs.
Yeah, these are the sort of the resources, I guess, that we talk about on the show a lot about we know that players want to do extras, they don't want to overload themselves, and sometimes they need some guidance around how to, I guess, attack extras. And obviously, you've got your skills sessions, you can book a one-on-one coach, but then this is a great way to, I guess, give some direction on how you can, put some spend some fuel tickets in a really wise manner and get some benefits out of it. And then Rainsy, obviously we've got the member-only bonus podcast for members on the Footy IQ subscription. How does that work? Who's that one for?
Well, yeah. So once you subscribe, you get that extra the bonus for the podcast. So we record as we usually do, like this with our podcasts, and then at the end of every episode, we add on another 10, 15 minutes. It could go a bit longer, could go a bit shorter, but there's a range of questions where our members will get access to exclusive insights from that special guest. So, for example, we had Acker on last week or the week before. He did an extra sort of 10, 15 minutes of questions. So don't miss out on that one. So there's some really key questions that we do sort of unveil or unveil in that. So and a really important way to for our listeners to click on and listen to a bit more content from our awesome guests.
Yeah, that's it. And if you're like me, you get to the end of a podcast that you really like, and sometimes you want more. So I guess that's our inspiration to provide a little bit more content for our podcasters. And with those as well, I guess we go into a little bit more detail on the specifics of, I guess we're trying to uncover the real key takeaways that the listeners can apply to their training or coaching immediately. Obviously, in the main podcast, we go through some of the guests' background and some of their learnings and some stories from their career. And we're really trying to make that bonus episode nice and specific. And then this part, Rains, is really exciting. The Footy IQ community. What's that one? What's that one on the membership?
Well, just another little thing to add to the membership, which is great, is like a Facebook. Think of Facebook or think of an online sort of portal where you can share ideas and messages and things like that around a certain topic or coaching or playing or whatever you've got on your mind. You can share it through this portal, the community portal, which is great. So again, you can ask a question, get involved with other members, and it's a great way to connect online. So again, you might have a question about a certain topic of the game or a drill or an insight, to be able to share that, or it might be a random question that you get on there and share it with your other members. And yeah, looking forward to getting on there and seeing a lot of people being able to sort of share some ideas and get connected that way.
Yeah, for sure. And so with that community, if you already are a member and you're listening to this, and we encourage everyone to jump on and introduce yourself. It's a great way to network with like-minded people. Obviously, the type of people that are going to be members are going to be highly motivated and looking for that edge. So a great chance to connect, like you said, connect and communicate with people who are in a similar boat to yourself. And then finally, Rainsy, we've got some exciting discounts with partners of the company. What are those ones?
Yeah, unreal this one. So we've got once you subscribe and you're a member, you get access to a discount code for Sharon, which is great. I think it's around up to 30% off, which is amazing. So all Sharon's products online there. So it could be football. Football's looking for a new pill. We like to call it the agate.
Nothing like a fresh footy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and a Sharon, which is unreal. So yeah, got a great relationship with them, and yeah, they're giving our members special access to discounts. So which is great. So it could be coaches too. They've got some training aids and things like that too. Obviously footballs. You always need footballs, but just the some training aids there too that Sharon offer, and New Balance. They've really come to light over the last couple of years, and they represent or sponsor a lot of AFL teams now, which is great. Another sporting organiser, anything from sort of apparel, runners or footy boots, which is great. New Balance is amazing, and looking forward to offering this to our members.
That's it, mate. It's like we said, it's really exciting. It's something that we've had in the works for a while, and our mission sort of to provide resources and provide resources to players and coaches to sort of help them take their game or their coaching to the next level. And obviously not everyone has access to whether it's behind the goals footage or access to expert coaches. So this membership's all about access. That's the basis of it. And mate, we've got a free trial, 14 days. We'll put the link in the show notes for that one. So if you haven't already signed up, feel free to jump on. You get 14 days for free, and then it kicks in. I think it's $29 a month for the monthly membership, and then you save 10% with the yearly billing. But yeah, that's the Footy IQ membership range. Is there anything we've missed there with the?
Oh, don't forget that if you sign on for a year, they obviously get a bit more discount, but you also do get a free online mentoring session with myself. So footballer asking questions about anything to do with their game can jump on board and meet with me, which is great. And then obviously our coaches being able to pick my brains about anything they want. So jump on board if you get the yearly subscription, sign up, get a bit of that discount, pay up front, and obviously a little free mentoring session with myself, which is looking forward to the ones that sign up for the yearly membership, mate.
Yeah, hopefully we get plenty of them, mate. You'll be a very busy man if you've got
I'll be inundated, which is great.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about access. All about access.
Exactly.
Now, Rainsy, before we jump off this week's episode, we've pre-recorded the next episode with an awesome guest who's one of our most popular coaches here on the platform. Do you just want to tease that next episode? Who have we got on, and what do we cover?
Yeah, we've got Tony Bamford next episode, which Tony's I like to call him a talent specialist. He's been coaching the South Australian under-18s for the last couple of years and running an amazing program over there, and the likes that have come through his team, the recent number 1 draft pick, what do they call him, Airhorn at the moment. He's going to be some sort of player, and he obviously had Isaac Rankin and Lukosius and the likes, and they came through. So he's coached some of the best talented players in Australia, and a really good football background too for a lot of our coaches that have not necessarily played AFL football, but have come through the ranks and created an amazing coaching career. And he's got some incredible insights there, and can't wait to listen to that one myself, and it'd be great.
Yeah, it was a ripping episode, and it's interesting to hear you call him a talent specialist, because obviously the both of you have worked in talent football for quite a few years, and especially that the bonus episode we dived into some of those key attributes of what you need to work on to get drafted. And I think his nickname's Bangers. We asked him about that as well, but he's got got plenty of insights for everyone on the podcast. But guys, well, thanks for tuning in. Just a short one today, but like we said, there's heaps more content, heaps of specifics on the actual Footy IQ membership. We'd encourage you to jump over, have a look, do as much as you want. But that's all we've got time for today, guys. Thanks for joining us, Rainsy. Thanks for jumping on, and we'll see you for Tony Bamford in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for listening to the One-on-One Football podcast. If you got something out of today's episode, we'd love it if you could leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to stay updated on special guests, new episodes, and more, please subscribe to the show on your chosen platform. And finally, if you have any questions for Rainsy or myself, or you want to get a particular guest on the show, please reach out. Our email address is podcast@oneonfootball.com.au. Thanks, guys. We'll see you for the next episode.